You all know what the statistical probability that this monstrous hole here is going to have to be filled in. Could even argue that's a nice inside bar reversal. Isn't quite Harami. There's another inside reversal, and this is Harami. So, I mean, hell, you could make the argument there's lots of candlestick reasons to look for tops up here. And if you just draw a really simple trend line, right? We just go boom, boom. Oh, what a surprise. Look at that. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like the cliche is cliche, right? I have to say, I'm quite interested to see the way that these cryptos are acting down in here. I know this KSM, I've been trying to sneak my way in here. I mean, all of these charts look like this. I don't know whether this is the bottom yet or not. I'm definitely interested in coming in and picking up. This is like basically starting out the whole little old lady plan from scratch, brand new. And you might even make the argument that if I can come in here now, then in essence, this is like literally the entire previous bull cycle, like it never happened. And quite often, these venture capital names, they go screaming higher and then they come right back down, literally hit the reset button and then do it all over again. I've said to you guys repeatedly, I do not expect this to go up like right away. There is no hurry on any of these purchases. And frankly speaking, you know, a name like this, you might even find that it actually has to come down and even play against these lows. Don't be surprised. A lot of these purchases were kind of like 1/3 purchases, not committing all of my capital, just slowly starting to take positions. And of course, if names pop, you know, sell halves on doubles, just get those free positions going. And then work bids right back down the bottom end of range, just to keep accumulating. Not in any hurry. And I'm certainly not leverage trading. I'm not, getting stopped out on these positions. Not even the slightest bit of a concern here. So if you are going to participate in this plan, just understand that's exactly what the backdrop is. And actually, we had one yesterday that came down into a 78.6. This one was right against the W. So there was the W originally that sort of got my attention, had big rally. Drew reload zones. This is 78.6. I actually set alerts. The market went screaming beyond it, which was fine. It jumped back up, and it's actually put in some M's here. So believe it or not, this could actually be a bear ABCD, suggesting that this thing might have to come all the way down here. So don't be shocked if, crypto has a big fucking faceplant here around my birthday. Remember, it usually does. Don't be shocked if you see names like this down here. I only bought 1/3 position. So that means if we do get a dump down here, I will be more than happy to add to these positions. I am building positions over the coming year. It's not just a one-shot, one deal. And there's no leverage or any margin or anything to do with any of that. I will say that I did take the time and moved off... we've allocated a certain amount of capital to building out this plan. And, frankly speaking, $10,000 is $10,000. Still a bit of money. Do I just want to leave $10,000 sitting on Binance so that it could just, and it's gone? No. So I moved more than half of it over to the ledger. And actually, it makes me feel much, much more comfortable. I also moved over a couple of the bigger positions, and interestingly enough, we actually hit sort of a withdrawal limit. I don't know whether CZ is putting withdrawal limits, so that was yesterday. So at that meeting that I told you that I'll have with Stuart tonight, we'll go back and see whether we can take some more of these. And ideally, I want to have like maybe a couple grand on Binance for the TRI algo trading. And really, interestingly enough, I started that. That's a fun program because, if Bitcoin does like puke out here, and I hate to say it, but this is looking pretty damn heavy now. And that's sort of more along this kind of conversation. When I see this chart, I'm like, oh, Jesus H. Christ. that looks insanely dangerous. Especially the icing on the cake is this goddamn FUMC reference right there. I mean, oh God, it's like that insult to injury, eh? So, I mean, if you did want to buy some Bitcoins, I would probably just keep a real close eye on my hunch. Kind of like how Julian's been telling you, liquidity pools, probably a ton of stop loss orders just underneath there. And of course, that is reload zone, 78.6, Brian's favorite fib, blah, blah, blah. That's probably the area where you want to buy. And if we could get a nice puke out here, and I was actually interested when I looked at the algo this morning. Algo, I mean, fascinating. The moving averages are actually going in opposite directions. Never seen that before. So they're nowhere near crossing bullishly. And if anything, look at the universe. The universe now has actually a top in the fast, and of course, slow is now going to slowly work its way down here. I'd also say, too, I actually think that this is a really, really good leading indicator for the broader risk market. So the broader risk market is actually going through what we just went through there through the early part of March. I think Bitcoin is leading the economy, and I wouldn't be surprised if this S&P rolls over here at some point in the not too distant future and it starts looking exactly like this as well. That really wouldn't surprise me at all. Keep in mind, sell in May and walk away. It's now the end of March. So basically, if this market topped out through the month of April and we started to head down in earnest even through the month of April, that really wouldn't be totally outlandish. I mean, I've seen market tops come in April lots of times before. So it's not like it has to top in May. In fact, I actually think we're going to get like a bottom in the middle to the end of May. That's what I think happens, and it probably drags on through the month of June. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing right now. This is not a kind of image that's going to make me go out and say, hey, you know what, you got to load up on the corn. And then you pull up the actual corn chart, and it's like, holy megaphones, Batman. If anything, I'd almost even suggest that maybe we should think about just going and buying like a $25,000 put, or maybe even going to that BITO and seeing if there's a put spread trade. And actually, maybe somebody remind me in the group tonight, maybe we should look at that in our spreads conversation with Zach. Is there a bear put spread? I mean, look at the size of that. You all know what the statistical probability that this monstrous hole here is going to have to be filled in. You could even argue that's a nice inside bar reversal. Isn't quite Harami. There's another inside reversal, and this is Harami. So, I mean, hell, you could make the argument there's lots of candlestick reasons to look for tops up here. And if you just draw a really simple trend line, right? We just go boom, boom. Oh, what a surprise. Look at that. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like the cliche is cliche, right? Interesting how the old gap is basically the exact same as the new gap. So, and then what wouldn't surprise me here is that this probably turns into some crazy ass like head and shoulders. It looks like that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. What we do over here, remember Larry Williams, he was saying that we should get like the buy signal of all motherfucking buy signals out there somewhere around the middle of July. And usually what ends up happening is it's right around the July 4th holiday. So you can see it goes 3rd, 5th. So July 4th happens to be, looks like it's a Tuesday this year. All around that event is usually where the market bottoms. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get some sort of pivot in price around that event. Next month or two, I don't think you should really expect a hell of a lot out of this thing right now. Just slow and steady, all that kind of talk.